Hi, my name is Bryan Loritts, lead pastor of Fellowship Memphis, and I want to thank you for taking the time to subscribe to our app. It's humbling to me and our team personally to know that our reach extends to people like you and to people from all over the world. You probably subscribed and pushed on our app today thinking you were going to get a message from this previous Sunday, and that's a good expectation to have, but I want you to know there is no message from this previous Sunday. The reason for that is about a couple of thousand of us across 3 different campuses, 4 different services, we left the building. And we left the building for one reason: to pray. There's a moving scene in the film Malcolm X. I don't know if you ever saw it, but whenever I see this scene in this film, it always touches me. Malcolm X, this devout Muslim, he's standing outside the doors of a church in New York City. He's waiting to recruit, and he's there right when the doors of the church open up to let the people out. And he says in so many words, "So y'all spent all those hours in church, and look at you. Nothing's changed about the community." That was kind of his shtick to say, if you want to be a part of something that's going to actually make a difference in the community, join the Muslim movement. Every time I see this scene in Malcolm X, there's something about it that just pierces my heart, because there's some truth in Malcolm's indictment on the church. So many churches and so many communities, and yet so little change. I think part of the reason is, at least in my experience, that there are so many churches who spend time having church that they're not actually being the church. I'm convicted personally about this. Several weeks ago, you may have heard the message that we posted. I stood before our church and just kind of shared our vision for the church for this current ministry year, and it's a vision to be bold. We want to just take some time this year to go back to our first century foundations and look at that church in the book of Acts. And if there's one word that describes them, it was the word bold. They were bold in their witnessing. They were bold in their church planting. They were bold in their praying. This year at Fellowship, we're saying, let's just not talk about it. Let's be about it. Let's be bold. Let's take some bold steps. And so the other morning, we literally took that to heart. We literally took bold steps, left the building, and we prayed. Why would we leave a building on Sunday morning to pray all over our city? Because we actually believe that there is power when the people of God get together in unison on one accord and bombard heaven with prayer. And so all across our city, we prayed for better schools. We literally, some groups went to high school campuses and middle schools and elementary schools, praying that God would watch over them and would strengthen them. We've been praying against abortion. We've been praying for stronger homes. We've been praying that God would care for the orphan in our city. That's what we did just this other Sunday, and we're begging God to move. But we're also praying because we want to visibly demonstrate to the city of Memphis that we care. I pastor in the Bible Belt, and every Sunday morning, people who don't even go to church pass by all kinds of churches. And of course, what I mean by that is they pass by buildings. You already know that, but the church, as it's described in the New Testament, it's not a building, it's a people. So we thought it would be a strong statement this morning to just, instead of people passing by buildings, what would it look like for them to pass another kind of church, a truer church, an army of people gathered in little clusters across the city praying. So thanks again for subscribing. We're honored that you're supporting our ministry, and we hope that we have deposited some things in you. Maybe you might be a little frustrated that there's no message this morning or this past Sunday morning, but we didn't want to just talk about it. We wanted to be about it. Church has left the building.